Hey, well, hello to everyone out there in YouTube land. I hope that everybody's doing well. I'm doing fine. Just wanted to pop in and check and see what you all are up to. I'm up to a lot, up to my knees, up to my neck in the kitchen trying to get some things together for the upcoming week and for today as well as the upcoming week. Hold on, let me put these pizzas in the oven. So what I have these pizzas. Hold on. Sorry about that. So I have these pizzas I'm getting ready to throw in the oven, which I'm surprised. These are the stone fires. I'm surprised that they are able to take my all of these toppings because I normally make my own crust. Of course, normally I'll put it either on a oh gosh, what's the name of the bread that you make with the all of the holes and the good olive oil? I can't even think of it right now, but I'll do that or whatever. But on here, I got my own like marinara pizza sauce that I canned last year. Some of my ground turkey, Italian style ground turkey that I also some that I canned last year. So on here, the sauce, the all of the toppings are basically the same. It's just the cheese that's different. One cheese is the Frank's Red House, Frank's Red Hot shredded cheddar, Kobe Jack, and American cheeses with that cayenne pepper seasoning. Then the other one is a mozzarella with mozzarella and Parmesan with those crushed red pepper flakes in it. So, like they have the sauce is there. That ground turkey, Italian style ground turkey is there. I also have some pepperoni on there. There are some red and orange and greenish peppers on top of there, bell peppers, mushrooms, onions, and what do you call these? Black olives. Yes, I love a pizza with everything on it, really. So let me throw this in real quickly. So I'm tripping because I forgot I had something in the oven. What is this? This beef stew. Well, this stew with the cornbread mix on top of it. That's almost done anyway, so I can put these in. Thank God that these things are holding up under the pressure of the sauce and all of these what's the majigum. So I got that going on. I just shucked some corn. I need to rinse it real quick because I put some peroxide spray on there. Rinse those. My ugly sweet potatoes. I love to have like sweet potatoes and little roasted corn, little things that people can eat as little snacks and stuff like that during the week. Then I have kefir. Don't mind these. These are just old dates. Then I just put my kefir on. I need to put what time is it? Okay, I need to put a label on it so I can remember what day. And I don't know if you make kefir. I stopped washing my kefir vessel, and it's been working for me. I've done it like 3 or 4 times just thus far. I just keep continuously using it, because the same thing with my oh, let me even look at that. Hold on. Oh, okay. From afar, it looked like it had molded, but just like my June or kombucha, who washes this every time they use it? We don't wash this every time we use it because it's mostly housing our scobies and stuff like that. So I definitely don't wash that every time. So one day I was in my laziness and I was like, you know what? I said, let me see. I said, this shouldn't be a problem for me to go ahead and, because it has all of that goodness in there, that good thick cream cheese, like something down in there. And I'm like, I'm not throwing this away because sometimes I can't get where I can if I just put my hand in there and start eating it with my hand, but I can't get to it all the time to eat that, and I'm not going to waste it for sure. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I've been sitting here. I've been drinking a lot of water, but I need to eat this. This is just my kefir and my granola. You see the blueberries in there turning blue already or tinting. But yeah, I need to eat this But so, and then I have a whole bag full of plantain that I need to process. Well, they first need to be cleaned, and then I'm going to dry them. I'm going to make a salve and see what else I'm going to do with them. So they're really, sorry about the noise if you're sensitive. So I got a whole bag full of good fresh plantain that needs to be cleaned. This was really beautiful and bountiful and fresh looking, but I got a whole basket full of anise hyssop. Oh, I love this so much. It came back, volunteers every year, but this year it had come back in every single planter. Every single planter had it in there. So I just harvested it I've been harvesting it, but I took out a lot of it because it was also in 3 of my planters that have the tomatoes in it. So I removed it so that, for airflow and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's so much. It's huge. Then there's like maybe some mints and some bergamot and a few other. Let me get to my alarm. Okay, finally able to take this out. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, now I have the pizzas inside, and hopefully this is done. I'm going to check it in a minute, let it cool down a little bit, but I think it's done. I kept it in there a long time, or whatever. I'm talking about the top anyway. But yeah, so I need to process this. I'm going to clean them all and tie them up, hang them up so that they can dry. And then I'm going to tincture, save some for tinctures, save some for teas, save some for seasoning food, culinary purposes and everything. So medicinal as well as culinary. And I will be doing a little study later on to see what else I could do with it. But I love it in salads. Oh my gosh, in salads, on sandwiches, all kinds. They're just versatile. It's so delicious. I mean, it's just so delicious. But yeah, so and then you know what else I got going on? Now you can barely tell what this is, but this is sweet alyssum. I got a shadow. I cut down because I have this. This is another volunteer that came back this year. It only came back in a few planters, but the way I really should have kept it, but I was a little afraid because it's in one of my tomato containers, and it really is helping as a mulch. Although there's mulch in there, it was also helping as a mulch. But also, again, with tomatoes, you want to make sure they have that good airflow. I don't want any of my tomatoes to mess up because I need them. So anyway, I'm going to see what I'm going to do with this. This is also can be used for culinary purposes as well as medicinal, the sweet alyssum. And then I just have my second little round of chamomile. My first one is already dry, and so this one is drying. These are drying also. Okay, so yeah, so those are some things that I'm working on right now. I'll probably make up a couple of these tostadas with cheese and bean dip, and possibly some of my. I also did some ground turkey, and I did them in 2 flavors. Of course, I did it in Italian as well as like a Tex-Mex flavor as well. So I'll be probably doing that, just to have some food on hand this week, something that's, people can grab and go and whatnot. But yeah, what I wanted to come on here and say is because we were just discussing, matter of fact, let me sit down. Sorry about that. I almost forgot I needed to rinse the corn off because I had put some of that my diluted peroxide on it just to clean it off a little bit. I rinsed that off, and then I did check the stew. Now, normally what I do, or what I did the first time I made it, this is only the second time I'm making this, but we enjoyed it so much. It was so good. But the cornbread actually, it filled up the skillet. I made it in a skillet last time. This time I made it in a brazier, but it had the cornbread had overflowed the stew. But which it was good. I mean, it was still good because the cornbread was good. I'll show you guys the cornbread at probably in another video. If you, because I do make my own cornbread, but they like the sweet one. So they had to buy that themselves. I really don't buy that kind anymore. But no, never mind. I'm not even gonna go into all that. But what I wanted to say was, be careful what you're eating. I gotta drink some water. We were just discussing how the Western world versus other countries, and how other countries are a bit healthier than our country here. And I said, well, that's some of that is, we were discussing different things, but regarding the cultures, various cultures or whatever. But a lot of cultures, they still eat, countryside. They still eat old, the way they learned to eat from their grandparents. All of these things were passed down, and a lot of times we don't pass it down, or we get so busy with convenience items that then we start supplementing. Supplements cost a lot when you can just eat a good healthy meal full of good collagen and minerals and bone broth, the bone broths and things like that. And when I say bone broths, also I mean bone-in meats, bone-in soups, eating things with the bone. Everybody's getting foods without bones in them. You know how nutritious the bone and the marrow, all was within the bone, how nutritious it is. Once you remove the bone from it, I mean, what do you have? You might have some protein, yes, but you don't have all those good nutrients that was within it. So and then we start supplementing, or we're wore down, or we feel sick, or we get sick, and stuff like that. Well, that is as a result of us not properly taking care of our temples. And again, it's because we say, oh, it's about convenience. We're running ourselves ragged, or you're falling into a trap of convenience in quotes, because you're trying to get boneless this or quick this, quick that. Take your time, carve out a date, and do all of your meals in one day. Even if you need to pack, put some together and put them in your freezer or whatever, can them however you need to preserve them, so that you'll have food on hand. Your children will have food on hand, and teach them about, and teach your husband too, because I know that could be a problem too, because sometimes your spouse may not have grown up the way you grew up, or maybe you both didn't grow up that way, and you both need to make a change or whatever. But talk to them and let them know about the nutrition and whatnot. Oh, you might not like it, but or how to cater to your family to put certain seasonings together, or how you can puree this or mix this into that and whatever, in order for them to like it what it is. I see this alarm on this oven is about to go off, the timer, excuse me. But yeah, so how to do things. Ask God for wisdom on how to feed and take care of your family or whatever. And things again are much less expensive. You can be more frugal and economical, and when you're shopping and whatnot, when you shop with wisdom. But yeah, I wanted to say that because we were, like I said, we were discussing and we're talking about how other countries, they have still using methods and the ways of cooking and cooking different foods that they were passed down to them from generation to generation. People are having roast chickens and roast beef, or roast a leg of lamb, and things, briskets, and brisket sometimes don't have a bone in it, but different foods. But still, the brisket is still good, because if you have slow cooked it, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? So, different things, and having, your potatoes and corn and beans, and all of these different foods with great nutrients in them. Fresh breads and butter and stuff. And people say, "Oh, fat this, fat that, fat is bad, butter is bad." All of these things, and it causes cholesterol, or the bad cholesterol in quotes. But it's not true. It's really not true. Everything is not true. They're not all being truthful, and or they're either they are ignorant to to what they're telling us. I'm talking about the big, big, industries, big names, and big these, and big authority that, and no authority that. But either they're very ignorant, or they're lying, because money and their greed is their belly, is their leader. You know what I'm saying? So, but let us be wise, and let us be careful. Sorry for the timer. Let us be wise, and let us be careful how and what we are eating, because fats are good for you. Certain fats are good for you. They help sustain us. This is how people got along, and during these long work days, and hard days on farms, and doing all kinds of heavy labor and whatever, and then, but what we do now, we have cold cereal for breakfast instead of having bacon and things of that nature, or sausage, or some kind of nice good meat, and some good grains, oatmeal, something to stick to your ribs, so, keep us going all day, help us, these really foods that are nutrient dense, and calorie dense as well. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there, just a little food for thought. Yeah, a little pun, a little food for thought, and also, again, just to see what you were up to today, letting you see what I was up to today. Busy, 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 and I still have to get to my gardens, and just check those out, because I did see some squash bug activity. Oh, those things, I dread them. They are traumatizing. So I need to go and make sure that, keep an eye on those things, and whatever. But yeah, so just, be careful, because, how I am, and what one of my taglines or mottos is about not wasting my time, my talent, my money, okay, my efforts, my energy, my resources, okay. I'm not going to do it, and that these things cause us to do that. You wasting a lot of money when you purchasing supplements to keep up, and people taking energy drinks and all of these things. We don't need all of that if we eat properly, and I don't have a problem with vitamins. I do take a level of vitamins. I do have supplements and whatnot, but for particular circumstances and situations, but they're not to be taken all the time, and I'm not going to spend all my money on them. You know what I mean? No. But anyway, let me get off of here. I love you very much. Hope that you're having a great day. I'm doing well. Again, like I said, I'm just busy and just want to check in with you guys and see what you were up to. So I love you very much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.